Hey guys, Bob Ferngren, and I'm back with another 8-minute call, and I'm talking about sales, selling, online selling, building your own personal brand, and kind of helping you get that going. Manifestation. In other words, creating things that don't exist today, right? They don't exist today, but your belief is they do, that you are making the kind of money, you're living the kind of lifestyle, you're having the kind of relationships you want. And the only successful people I've ever seen are people who have seen and believe in their future. I'm walking on this dock right now. I've done all my videos in the last 6 months from my backyard and my videos, my 8-minute calls. Now, this is an interesting story in itself. I never knew this lake existed, yet I lived 1 mile from it. It's actually called Lost Lake. It's a pretty huge lake. I think it's 55 acres. It's private. And so, that's cool. And so my life had taken off. I'd been like in a really bad place for, I think it was 2 or 3 years. And then because I believed that I was going to have this incredible future, and I saw this future, and I believed in this future, like I was going to live on a lake, I was going to have a certain size house, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And literally, the guy that was living in this house did not want to sell this house. But once I saw it, I knew it was absolutely what I'd been believing for, what was on my vision boards, what I had been speaking into existence, right? Now, I'm going to go deeper into manifestation, and I'm going to go deeper into all that. But I'm really all about helping people create wealth online through whatever format. You can do what I'm doing, and that thing is going crazy. Think about this. Joined a company that is now 12 months old, and it's already done, I'm guessing, around $110 million, a brand new company. That's unheard of. Maybe in the high-tech world, but even in the high-tech world, the first year isn't that great. So you do whatever you want to do, but I want to help you do it. Affiliate marketing is the way of the future. Not the big influencers selling, but micro influencers. People that don't have a lot of followers, but they're willing to put the time and effort in and help them. So back to manifestation. I want to tell you a story about my wife. My wife was, I'm speaking for her, but I think this would be accurate. And thank you for doing the lawn work there across the lake so it echoes across here. But I think my wife would say she was not going to live the type of life that she'd been living. She was sick and tired of lack and living all that life. And so she got on kind of a similar road to me, certainly different. She lived in Connecticut, and she was a hard worker always, mostly in the hospitality field. But she'd been working, I think, in an insurance company. And she just wasn't making a whole lot of money. She was never going to get ahead. She had student loan debt. And so she got on the same process that I'm talking to you about. It's about managing your mind, creating things that don't exist, believing in things that aren't yet. That's actually called faith, by the way. And she did everything. And, after I got to know her, I, had been invited to her apartment, and I go to her apartment, and there are these sticky notes all over what I guess would have been a dining room. I'm talking like hundreds of them, where she's doing self-talk to herself. I am successful. I will make X amount of money. I am going to live in Florida. The list goes on and on and on, and all things done before she ever met me. And she just believed in it. And every day she committed herself to reading these books and studying people, that understood how to create their own future. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Now, she also did the right thing, because once you get on that path, then the things and the people you need are going to be put onto that path for you. In other words, those are called opportunities, right? And you have to step into those opportunities. You have to open your mouth, and whatever that may be. I'm going to talk more about that in the future. When action happens, when you believe in what you're doing, then I think everything begins to conspire on your behalf. And so she did take action. She took action in a lot of ways. And she had some great goals, a tremendous vision, absolutely believed in it. And I would say everything in her life, like living in Florida, that was before she met me. The type of life she was going to lead and the success she was going to have and all of that, she had believed in it and put commitment in it, and she fast forwarded her life. That's one of the things you can do. And by the way, that was all done through online selling that opened up all these doors and opportunities for her and created this wealth for her. And in a short period of time, she was living in Florida. She eventually married me. She created massive wealth, lives a life that's way, 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 way above average. She now has 2 wonderful children. Now, I am bragging on my wife, but what I'm telling you is, with respect, she came from a very, very poor, like really poor. We were, I guess growing up, I would say we were at the low end of middle class. She was in the poor class, like really poor. And today she's really wealthy. Now, again, I am bragging on my wife, but what I'm telling you is you can create the type of life you want, and you have to have a vehicle to create that. Yeah, go to work for the man. You're going to grind it out for his hopes and dreams, for what he or she envisions for their future, right? But go to work for yourself, guys. Sure, you might have to continue that job, but go to work for yourself. Become an online seller. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you're not, Kim Kardashian, but you are you. And that if you're consistent, if you're posting regularly, if you're doing videos, and I'm not talking about your product or service, but about your life, that's what connects you to other people, is being consistent about that. Do that. Align yourself with the right organization, and you can create the type of life that's way, way, way above average. God bless. Have a great day.